Ayla had once believed that life moved in a straight line: school, job, marriage, and then family. But at 29, as she stood by the window of her small one-bedroom apartment in New York, listening to the distant hum of traffic, she felt that life wasn't a line at all. It was a circle one. She kept walking in again and again. She held a warm mug of coffee between her hands. But inside her, everything felt cold and unsettled. Her routine was simple: wake up at 6, catch the subway, work long hours as a patient coordinator at a Manhattan hospital, return home exhausted, eat dinner quietly, and sleep. That was it. That was her life. But today felt different. A heaviness she couldn't name clung to her all day in the hospital break room. Her colleague Maria glanced up and asked, "You look tired, Ayla. Long night." Ayla forced a small smile. "Just couldn't sleep." It wasn't a lie, but it wasn't the truth either. For the last few days, Ayla's peace had been shaken by someone she never expected to hear from again: her ex-husband, Daniel. After 3 years of complete silence, he had suddenly reached out. His message was only one line: "Can we talk?" Just 6 words, but they had taken away her sleep, her calm, and the emotional balance she had rebuilt so painfully as she returned home that evening. The cold New York wind brushed against her face. She walked down the subway stairs with her heart beating louder than the city noise around her. People rushed past her, but every face felt blurred. When she finally reached home, she dropped onto the sofa, exhausted. The apartment was quiet: no TV, no music, just the soft hum of the refrigerator. She picked up her phone. The message was still there. She set the phone down quickly, as if touching it burned her fingers. Her hands trembled slightly. "What does he want?" she whispered. 3 years later. Why now? Her mind drifted back to memories she had worked hard to bury: Daniel's laughter, their first apartment, the long road trips, the small fights, the big dreams. And then that one moment when everything shattered. He had left without warning. No explanation. Just a note on the kitchen table: "I need to figure myself out. I'm sorry." Her world had collapsed that day. And even after all these years, some pieces had never truly fit back together. Tonight she took a deep breath, made herself an iced frap, and opened her diary, the place where she wrote things she told no one. She wrote slowly, "I'm scared. Scared that if I talk to him, everything I rebuilt will fall apart. But scared too that if I don't, I'll never know what he wanted to say." Sighed. A light drizzle began to fall. Raindrops blurred the neon reflections on the street below, turning the city into a watercolored painting. Ayla stood by the window for a moment, watching New York move live, loud, restless, yet somehow lonely. Her phone buzzed softly. She didn't have to check. She knew what it was. "Daniel, can we talk?" Her finger hovered over the reply button for long, breathless seconds. But she didn't reply. She locked the phone and placed it face down, walking toward her bookshelf. She picked up a framed photo, her and her parents, laughing at a Thanksgiving dinner years ago. Her chest tightened with longing. Her parents were in Pakistan, thousands of miles away, but she could almost hear what they would say. Ayla, you're strong. You survived once. You won't let anyone break you again. She blinked away the sting in her eyes and set the photo back. Then she turned on her laptop. A blank document opened. It was the manuscript she had been trying to write for months. Her book about healing. She typed, "Healing isn't a straight line. Sometimes it comes in waves. And sometimes it comes in the form of someone returning to your life when you least expect it." Her hands froze above the keyboard. She closed her eyes and let out a shaky breath. She lay down on her bed, pulled the blanket over herself, and whispered into the dark, "Maybe tomorrow will feel easier." But she had no idea that tomorrow would change everything, because when morning came, another message would be waiting, a message that would shift the entire direction of her life.